Hello, everybody. I believe that we are live. Yes, indeed, we are. Hello, everybody. My name is Harry Rice. I review games for the Montreal Canadiens. Yeah. Tonight we played. Well, today we played. It was another 1 p.m. start time. I'm coming up late because I was actually eating before the stream started. I was checking out Rick over on Talking Habs. Didn't want to take any viewers away from him potentially. Check him out if you want to later. But yeah, great guy, great guy. Darkness. I was eating some bread. Oilers talk. I was not late. You were just very early. Uh, Raymond, how's it going, man? Thank you for coming by. Hope all you guys are doing very well. And yeah, as you guys can see, we do have the sub count in the corner. And yeah, we're on the road to not only 900 subscribers, but on the road to 1,000 total subscribers as well. So if you enjoy the content that you see and you're new, hit that like and that subscribe button. Especially if you're a Canadiens fan. If you're a Habs fan, hit that like button and that sub button because it'd be much appreciated. Clifford, how's it going, man? I had a feeling you had a Canucks game because I was watching the overtime actually. Shout out JT Miller. Bro apparently watched the video I did in the off season on him. And said, you know what? Yeah, no. We're gonna wait till the playoffs to collapse. So I mean, you know, you know what? Hey, JT Miller with the game-winning goal. I did watch that overtime. It was very, very fun, very back and forth. Yeah, you did not miss much at all, though, Clifford. If there were any Habs fans that are here tonight that did not watch the game, you did not miss much at all. You didn't really miss anything aside from some Habs players getting hurt and Caulfield's point streak ending. But some point streaks did extend. We'll find out who very shortly. Habs losing 7-2. Sucks to see that big loss. Exactly, Raymond. Like, I'm fine in a way with losing, especially in a rebuild. But, you know, if you're going to lose, I'd at least want to keep the game close. 3-2, maybe 4-2. Be competitive in the game. But there's just nothing. There's nothing from anyone aside from that top line, basically. The top line was the only thing that had any resemblance of trying. Them and Brendan Gignac. Brendan Gignac, sorry. Brendan Gignac genuinely is looking really, really solid. I'm liking him so far, honestly, as a fourth line center. I'm thinking he's pretty alright. After the last few years, I'm just glad we're making the playoffs. Jim Benning. Dude, Cliff, yeah. I mean, you know what? Fuck, I'm happy as a Canucks fan. You deserve playoffs, man. Or as a Habs fan, I should say, you deserve playoffs. I'll probably root for the Canucks, assuming they don't match against the Coyotes. But I'll root for the Canucks in the playoffs. And I don't know. Last time a team that I rooted for in the playoffs was in the playoffs. Last time I rooted for a team and they made the playoffs, they went to the Stanley Cup Finals. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I'm hoping the best for the Canucks down the stretch. And good, very good rebound win, especially after that loss to Detroit yesterday. Yeah, speaking of anybody who might be new here, it sucks that the Habs lost, but it's always nice to see the Leafs lose. Raymond, yes, dude, I was fine with that. The only issue is that the Senator fans now think that they're gonna make the playoffs because they're like 7-2-1. They were like 7-2-1 in their last 10, I think, something like that. Shout out Morgan Riley, though, bro. Morgan Riley is a fucking goat for what he did on Ridley Gregg. We can talk about that in a little while if you guys want, but yeah, bro, dude. Anytime a Senators player gets hurt like that, bro, I'm A-okay with that. Morgan Riley, it is confirmed he is getting a hearing, Raymond. I'll actually find the exact tweet from the player safety Twitter. Yeah, so it says on the NHL player safety Twitter, Morgan Riley has been offered an in-person hearing for cross-checking Ottawa's Ridley Gregg. The date and time is to be determined, so I'm assuming it'll be tomorrow. Yeah, which I believe because it is, apparently it's, because it's an in-person hearing, it's a minimum of 5 games. So, yeah, it's, My guess is based off previous case with which I think he got a 20-game suspension. I would think 10 to 12. I don't know. I don't know. I am excited to see what happens. I'm excited to see how crybaby Leafs fans are gonna handle the suspension. I'm loving that under the replies of the announcement of the suspension, fans are comparing this to the I think it was not Charlie McAvoy. What's his name on the Bruins? It might have been Charlie McAvoy, but what's his name? Who didn't get called for the accidental slash to the head of the Rangers player? And they're saying that that should have been suspendable, but it's they're nowhere near comparable. The slash to the helmet was again accidental. It was during a scrum, whatever. This is after a goal is scored. There's clear malicious intent to injure, which it seems he thankfully succeeded with that. But yeah. Like I said, we can talk about that if you guys want. Cliff, the Coyotes want to make the playoffs so they can sell their 5,000 seat arena, not 4,600. Get that right. I've nothing against them, but don't envy. Oh yeah, dude, I don't envy the situation either, dude. Like, if I were a Coyotes fan, which I mean, I like the Coyotes. I like the Coyotes, but God, if I were like a full-on Coyotes fan, I would hate being a Coyotes fan. Because it's like, okay, a fucking relocation is basically imminent at this point, unfortunately. Like, it's almost like being a Pittsburgh fan in the early to mid 2000s, knowing the team is probably moving to Kansas City, or Salt Lake City, I think it was. You know, the team's almost about to move to Salt Lake City until Mario Lemieux comes out of nowhere and says, yeah, no, that's not happening. This team is staying where they deserve to be. Yeah. Yeah, I've got nothing against Coyotes. I think actually the people who do have something against the Coyotes, I think the people who want to see them move are horrible for hockey. I think that the more that we support the Coyotes and the more that we want to see them succeed, I think it's actually better for hockey because you have hockey succeeding in other markets other than just the usual 4 or 5 that it works. Yeah, I think it's actually it's a great thing to see hockey being played all throughout North America, all throughout the world. Yeah. Clifford. Exactly. Salt Lake has a huge boner to get a team. They wanted the Penguins back in the 2000s. They're apparently really pushing hard to get a team now, which I don't know if it would be Arizona if they end up relocating or if it would have to be a expansion team. I know Houston is another team that's like heavily involved in the or was heavily interested in getting a team at one point, which I mean I could see it. I could honestly see it being Houston gets the relocation from Arizona and then Salt Lake gets a expansion team. Depending if they're in the East or the West, you can go with then Atlanta, or if they're on the East Coast, I don't know where you would go for the West. I don't know how that could work, but there's definitely there is definitely that Utah market in Salt Lake City. I think it'd be fun to see a team there. I don't know if it works. Weirdly enough, I don't know, but yeah. What the fuck happened? What the fuck occurred? Suns. Habs didn't really play tonight, and also the Blues were really fucking dirty. That's what happened. I think when the Yotes relocated, it's either to Houston or Salt Lake due to having to keep the conference. Yeah, no shit, Darkness. That's what we've been saying. But yeah, that's probably how they do it. Unless it's only in like say 3 years. I don't think that it only happens in 3 years. I think it'll probably be 2 years. But say it's 3 or 4 years. If there's expansion at that point, they might potentially move to the East. They might go with like maybe Quebec, or I'd want to see Atlanta personally. And then you have the expansion team be Houston or Salt Lake. Let's be honest, probably Salt Lake at that point. But yeah, I think it all depends on when they end up relocating. If it's in 2 to 3 years, you could go either or. I think if it's in 4 to 5 years, then yeah, it's almost basically it has to be an Eastern Conference team, or an Eastern Conference team they end up becoming, I should say. Which does make me interested, because when the Thrashers relocated, they became the Jets, but still had that awful Atlanta stench. I do wonder if if Arizona moves, because the Jets are obviously a team beforehand. The NHL had the copyright for them, they were able to just reuse the Jets name. I do wonder if Arizona were to move, would they keep the Coyotes name, or if say they move back to Atlanta, would they want to go by the Thrashers name? Would they even be able to? Do they have the copyright from Atlanta Spirit to be able to do so? Because I'm pretty sure that's the same reason the Atlanta Thrashers logo is not in the NHL video games, is because the NHL doesn't hold the proper copyright for it. So I do wonder that. And then Quebec, I'm 99% sure they'd be able to just go back to being the Nordiques. And then, again, Utah, Salt Lake City. What the hell do you call them? Do you call them the Salt Lake City blank? Do you call them the Salt Lake blank? Like, do you call them the Lake City blanks? I think it'd be interesting to see. And then Houston, you could probably just go Houston Aeros, because that was the AHL team before they disbanded. I think the Houston Aeros name works. But yeah. Who's winning the Super Bowl? Suns. I think the better question is who's winning the Puppy Bowl. I think that's the better question. But no, who's winning the Super Bowl? It's obviously got to be the Kansas City Chiefs, dude. Like, there's a 0% chance that the 49ers end up winning. I'm going to say this and then cut to the 49ers winning, like, 73-0 somehow. But no, the Chiefs, I think, are going to win it. I hate Taylor Swift, but you know what? Fuck it. I want to see the dynasty. Patrick Mahomes is going to become the most hated player in the league. Travis Kelce gets some of that good pussy. No, seriously though. I'm a fan of the Chiefs. I kind of like the Chiefs. I like to see them be the dynasty. I mean, I think it'd be a really funny way to cap off a Super Bowl that's getting the halftime show done by fucking Usher of all people. So, yeah. Habs are winning the Super Bowl? So. The Lake City Mormons? I mean, Clifford, that is a possibility. I don't know if they'd want to call out all the Mormies like that and whatnot, but I could see that being a potential name. I think that'd be kind of funny at this. And the Mormons win. The Mormons have won the Stanley Cup. God, just imagine that call. That'd be really funny. Alright, but for anyone who's new here who might still be watching, firstly, thank you very much. And secondly, how we usually do this is we go through the lines for both teams. I give a little game summary, recap, analysis. We go through the stats for the Canadiens. And then we get out of here. Over that, of course, I'm reading the chat as well. Most people I know IRL are rooting for the Chiefs. Let's go, Darkness W. Salt Lake Coyotes, they're going to drop the city or just call them the Utah Coyotes. The Utah Coyotes could actually work really well. I kind of like that, actually, the Utah Coyotes. Yeah, so kind of like how Colorado is named the Avalanche, not the Denver Avalanche. Oh, God, what were they supposed to be called originally? The Rocky Mountain Extreme. God, I'm so happy they were not called the fucking Rocky Mountain Extreme. Has anybody ever seen the old logo that they were supposed to have? Oh, wow. Apparently, the original name, there was copyright protection for Black Bears, so it seemed they might have been the Denver Black Bears, but, oh, wow, I actually found it really easily, the old, Rocky Mountain Extreme names. Or the old, Rocky Mountain logos. Let me get these on stream real quick for you guys, because, oh, God. Anybody remember when the fucking Nordiques were supposed to rebrand as well? Bring the title back to Missouri Chiefs? I mean, yeah. Oh, yeah, because Kansas City, Missouri. Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah. I forgot about that. All right. Add an image. All right. Where am I? Sorry. My friend lives near Kansas City, so of course I'm rooting for the Chiefs. Hey, let's go. Cliff, that's fucking based. Let's go. Raymond, for me, it'll be sad to see the Coyotes. If I should not have drank that Pepsi. If the Coyotes do relocate to another state, I like the Coyotes, their colors, or their logo and colors. Yeah. I'm a fan of the Coyotes. Like I said, I like the Coyotes, their logo, their colors. I like a lot of their players as well. It'll suck to see them relocate if it does happen. I'm hoping they end up getting that arena that they want. Bro, the Jazz Arena looks whack when it's set up for ice skating. It kind of does. It kind of does, though. It kind of does. Also, these are the originally planned logos for the Rocky Mountain Extreme. Yeah, so that top one you can kind of see a little bit. That was supposed to be the original logo, which actually doesn't look terrible in my opinion. I think it looks okay. The secondary makes, I like the one with the skate and the stick. I think it looks alright, and then the like, overall, I think the logos look decent. The only issue is that for me, they look more like a carnival ride than, they look like logos for like a carnival ride or something like that. So, yeah. Conservative lawyer coming in just to see the Rocky Mountain Extreme on in the chat. I love that. Hey, Ari, do you have a player you want to be drafted this year since we are probably going to have a top 10 pick? I'm on the Demidov train. I want either Ivan Demidov or Tig Iginla. Those are the players that I want. I don't think Iginla would necessarily be a top 10 pick. Though this might actually be a little bit of a hot take, but considering how far he has seemed to fall off, especially since he was once projected to be a top prospect, like a top 3 pick. I'm not saying top 10, but if we end up getting another first this year, maybe David Savard gets us that. But if we end up getting another first round pick, I could see us going Aaron Kiviharju. I really think Aaron Kiviharju would be really, really solid. I know he's a defenseman. You can never have too many D-men, though. You can never, ever have too many defensemen. And plus, again, he was a projected top 3 pick like 3 years ago. 2-3 years ago, we saw Atu Ratu drop all the way to the second round. Kiviharju, I think, is right now projected around 20. I don't think there's any real risk if you were to pick him. Again, I think if you end up with 3 first-round picks, you use your own, you draft Demidov or Iginla if you're that far up in the draft. Use the Jets pick, maybe move that for a forward, I don't know. And then you use whatever other pick you get, maybe go Aaron Kiviharju. I think that'd be great, and then you just wait to see what you get with Calgary's first next year. Actually, technically, we could have another first this year already, because if Calgary somehow makes the playoffs and their pick ends up 20-32, we could actually swap out their first next year for their first this year if we wanted to, but that's not happening. They're going to end up being a top 10 pick as well. Well, conservative lawyer, I could actually see us going with Ivan Demidov, and here's the reason. Demidov does not have the same type of contract as Matvei Michkov. He does not have to stay here he does not have to stay there for 3-4 years, whatever the new ruling is, that, you know, you sign a contract or whatever. Demidov does not have that same type of contract. He also has heart. He has legitimate character. He's a guy that seemingly will play for whichever franchise drafts him. Michkov apparently told the Canadiens that he had no interest in playing for them, despite taking an interview with them. And he's more than just a one-dimensional goal scorer. He seems to have a little bit of playmaking. He's all right. His skating, which could potentially cause him to fall, maybe cause him to be a Braden Point. I can't see him dropping a lot, though. I think the risk could be worth it with Ivan Demidov, but if not, I'd be fine with taking Iginla. I'd be completely fine with Tiggy Iginla. How many games do you think the Blues player will get for boarding Harris? Probably 1 or 2. Harris was kind of falling a little bit. It still doesn't excuse that clear headshot. It was going to be a boarding either way. I think because of the incidental contact to the head, it is still a board. I think he gets 1 or 2. At minimum, probably a $5,000 fine. I'd be very surprised, though, if the PA doesn't give him a fine. Because I think they have to look at it because it is a game misconduct. They usually look at every 5-minute major in a game starting to be able to come over to the NHL. There's been a lot of Russian players that have just not wanted to come over. You look at a guy like a Sergei Mosyakin, who was, I think, a 2002 9th-round pick by the St. Louis Blues. He just never came over. He easily, in my opinion, I think could have been a really solid second, third-line guy, good 20-30 goal scorer in his prime in the National Hockey League. This is a guy who just never came over. Artemi Panarin. The reason he never got drafted, his only draft-eligible year was 2010, when he declared. The reason he never got drafted is because teams were worried that he would never come over, because the amount of money he was getting paid in the Russian dollar was more than he would be getting paid with the American dollar to convert it, apparently, or something like that. And like I said, there's been players, Nikita Kucherov, for that same type of reason. You know, is that, oh, well, is he going to come over? I get guys like Ovechkin didn't fall, but Florida tried to draft him in, I think it was the 9th round in 2003. They tried to draft him with like 4 straight picks. Let me actually look it up real quick. Because I know it happened. Florida Panthers, Alexander Ovechkin. Wait, what? Yeah, okay, yeah. So Alex Ovechkin, funny enough, actually, which is actually, yeah. So basically, Ovechkin was born 2 days after the cutoff to be draft eligible in 2003. And the general manager, Rick Dudley at the time, tried in 4 different rounds to draft Alex Ovechkin. Reading this off an article. They did request to make the final one in writing. If it was ruled that the Panthers were in the right and that they had the ability to draft Ovechkin, that they could make a claim on Ovechkin over the 2004. And apparently, Rick Dudley, it says here, the team management, they had that idea a month before the draft, though they did know that it had a very small chance of actually working out. Which, I mean, you know what? I mean, I think it's a really funny idea. If it did work out, just imagine where we'd be right now. Florida probably has a... Bro, just think of it, though. Ovechkin coming up playing with fucking Olli Jokinen. Bro would be playing with Alexander Barkov right now, potentially. That would genuinely be insane. I wonder if there's footage of that, actually, from when the Panthers drafted Alexander Ovechkin. I honestly wonder if there is footage of that. Because I know the NHL takes draft day footage from, like, almost every year. And I'm pretty sure the 2nd through 7th rounds as well, back then they used to. So I honestly wonder if there's NHL archive footage of the... I want to get through this game. Let's get into the lines. The opening lines for the Canadiens were Caulfield, Suzuki, Slafkovsky, and Pezzetta, Zignac, Ulinen. Matheson, Gooley, Struble, Savard, and Harris Kovacevic were on the blue line. Jake Allen gets the start net for the Canadiens. And the Habs Twitter said Sam Montembeault. There were other sources that were saying Caden Primo was the backup tonight, but I'm going to go off the Habs Twitter and say Montembeault was the backup. Doesn't really matter. The backup. If to Salt Lake City, they're gonna have to put some cards. They're gonna have to put show cards behind the glass like it's Barclays Center. Oh God, sons. I really hope not. That would absolutely suck. Bye bye, Benyos. No, legit. Shout out Chris. Shout out if you guys get Benyos reference. You're fucking goated. But yeah, no. Yeah. That would be really funny. I will say, sons, but I hope that doesn't happen because Barclays fucking sucked for hockey. In a legitimate barn since... When was the last series playoff win in Nassau? Like 2001? 2002, somewhere around there? The opening lines for the... I love pissing off. Neighbors, Shen, Kapanen, Sod, Hayes, Blaze. Sod, Hayes, Blaze. That's actually pretty funny. And Torpchenko. That is a big boy 4th line. Shout out Alexei Torpchenko being fucking 6'6", and I think it's at 230 pounds. Letty, Pareko, Krug, and Kessel. That is Matt, not Phil, unfortunately. I was going to say the female Kessel. Brenda Kessel, maybe? Brittany? Something like that. Scandella Rosen of the, I believe, Cali variety. Not Isaac Rosen. That is Cali Rosen. We're on the blue line. Jordan Binnington gets started net, and Joel Hofer backs him up as he had played yesterday against the Sabres. Yeah. Before the game, I was actually going to lead off after Harvey Pinard was injured. Waugh returns to the lineup, I should say. Oh, and the streams are starting to lag. Yep, okay, so yeah. My apologies, boys. The stream is starting to lag, so it's going to be like this probably every 2 or so minutes, which kind of sucks, I will say that. Because I do want to get, I do want to get updates just in case they do post the injury updates, because they did post one about 43 minutes ago. Gooley was getting evaluated. We'll find out what happened with him throughout the game process. But yeah, so yeah, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna get through as much of this as we can. And Jake Allen's in net. The Blues strike 25 seconds in. Alexei Torpchenko, the start for the Blues. He makes it 1-0 Blues. There's a really solid deke pass Struble. Allen decides to make zero real effort to make a save and just kind of dives with the poke check and buries it. Solid goal there. The Canadiens have basically already lost. It is 1-0 Blues. Pearson has a nice hit. The Habs then pressure a few moments later. Hello. I love how much my Wi-Fi loves to fuck up. I love my Wi-Fi. Fuck me. Alright. So yeah. Alright, let's alright, I'm gonna close my Google Chrome because maybe that'll help. I doubt it will, but yeah. So Colton Parayko, like I said, makes it 2-0 Blue. That just sucks to see. And then fuck Sammy Blais, so he ends up boarding Jordan Harris right in the head. He was down, and it's a 5-minute major they call initially on the play. They review it because every 5-minute major can be reviewed. I think it's double minors and 5-minute majors they can review. Almost immediately. It takes maybe 30 seconds. And, yep, the call is confirmed. It's 5-minute major and the game is conduct for some pressure. Good setup, just not able to get many shots on net. The second unit, not looking great. There's turnovers that lead to some clears. The first unit was doing really most of the work to get shots on net. And speaking of that first unit, we score. It was apparently 2 seconds before the power play ends. So the Canadiens do get a power play goal tonight. Nick Suzuki gets on the board from Slavkovsky and Matheson. Slav with a solid cross crease with a wide open net with Jordan Binnington. And Slick Nick sends it home, getting Montreal on the board. It is a 2-1 deficit now. Pezzetta with some bad turnovers. He was really looking like last year's pet. Speaking of not connecting, don't you guys love when my Wi-Fi decides to shit out on me? Because I fucking do. Oh, I did get an eBay notification. No, I don't care about that. Sorry. Yeah, I'm actually gonna load the stream on my phone because I want to make sure that yeah, I actually want to make sure. Actually, want the live stream, right? Yeah, no shit. I mean, I guess that's good. It's not telling me that. It's not giving. Okay, so I'm being recognized as being live. I'm gonna wave. Is this really what the stream is like for you guys right now? Holy fuck. This is doggy doo-doo. Habs just overall were not connecting with any passes really at all. Despite the one goal, we just didn't have any momentum really. Blues go back the other way off a Habs press. There's a couple chances. They're able to tie the game up in shots at one point. Surprisingly, they were, I think it was 7-3 in favor for the Canadiens in this first period. Those goals, we had the Canadiens 5-minute major, which you can't go to a commercial on during a power play. And there was about 4 or 5 minutes of just no whistles. There was an icing, I want to say, but you can't go to a commercial after an icing usually. So 15 minutes in, we got our first commercial. That's very fun. Matt Kessel ends up getting a look for his first in the NHL. That's stopped by Allen. But there's a penalty coming up. Struble gets called for a hook. That sucked. And up a rebound. Armia doesn't tangle him up. Not really much of a chance for Allen. I thought he could have had that one as well. That one's more of a so-so goal. Canadiens lost any and all momentum. Sorry. Canadiens lost any and all momentum that they could have gained. Like, oh, well, the Blues played on Friday, so they're fully rested. No. Both these teams played yesterday. I don't know what happened for the Canadiens to play this poorly against the bottom feeder in the wild card race. Mattson then has a good cross check to the numbers of a Blue. Didn't stay down though. Kyrou ends up hitting the crossbar. That would have been interesting for his second of the night. He almost makes it 4-1 though. Then the Habs go back to the penalty kill. Suzuki gets called for a slash on Kyrou. That sucks. The Blues get in control. Habs get a clear as a result of a bad pass, but end up getting a few shots to the Blues. There's 12 seconds left on the power play for the Blues to start the second. The shots are 15-8 for the Blues, and they have a 3-1 lead after 20 minutes. Allen ends up making a save in the opening 10 seconds, and the Canadiens kill the penalty kill, so we are 1 for 2 on said penalty kill tonight. Blues try to work, but the Habs have some wheels in the second early on. Anderson ends up hitting Matt Kessel. Habs then go to the power play. So Gooley's, but Sungfist is called with an embellishment and a trip on Pezzetta. They recognize it as a trip on Gooley, but I'm pretty sure it was Pezzetta. Habs end up looking good I should say not like the trip was called on Gooley, but Sungfist trips up Pezzetta. I'm pretty sure it said that it was Gooley, but yeah. Habs end up looking good as the first unit gets a couple chances. Matheson finds Slav. Those were the best shots that the Canadiens ended up getting. Just not able to capitalize on the very smart patience game. Habs are 0 for 2 on the power play. Canadiens impress again. Gignac and Pezzetta look to connect, but there's a bouncing puck that leads to some Blues pressure the other way. Krug has a good stop. Good shot stopped by Allen. Torpchenko looks for his second of the game. Slavkovsky's called for a hold on Kevin Hayes when his stick is being held. Slav drops the stick, puts the arms up, and the ref says, "No, you're going." Blues weren't able to press too much as the Habs get a near shorthanded look. There's a good D to stop. Pass break. I think that was also to Kyrou, actually. Canadiens are able to kill, so we're 2 for 3 on the penalty kill tonight. Habs end up getting some more drop frames. Boyos, this is kind of fucking retarded. This sucks. Habs get some looks. Blues D was just really too much for the Canadian. A ton of shots. Caulfield nearly has a break-in. Then the Blues end up scoring again. There's a horrible glove hand by Jake Allen. He lets Nathan Walker score his 4th goal of the year to end this game. Blues, that fucking sucks. Habs then go back to the penalty kill. Pezzetta's called for a clear hold on Braden Shen. Savard and Blue go at it after the first whistle, but a little bit of a scrum. Then we got more penalties. So Armia is called for a cross-check to the face of Krug. Krug gets called for the slash in retaliation, so instead of taking just Krug or just Armia, they take both, which means that we're going to get some more shit by the end of this game. Love to see Armia getting a little bit physical there. Love to see him getting a little bit dirty. That's always fun. So yeah. Blues have roughly a minute 40 of power play time to start the third period. Shots are 25-22 for the Blues, who have a 4-1 lead after 40 minutes as well. And the Blues score early. Robert Thomas on the power play makes it 5-1. That is a really soft goal for Allen to allow these goals at this point. And yeah, the Habs are 2 for 4 on the penalty kill tonight. Canadiens end up pressuring the other way. Caulfield gets accidentally tripped by Walker. Yes, he was down for a moment. Thankfully, would be back on the next shift, though. His next shift, in between that, though, the Canadiens end up actually scoring. Yoel Armia tips a shot home from David Savard off his knee. The goal, Armia from Savard and Struble, so it's 5-2. That's pretty decent, if you ask me. Getting back in it, potentially. We were going to need another quick one, but debatable if that was going to happen. Habs top line, though, pressured, so that looks half decent. Caulfield was back getting many shots on nets. The Blues then back the other way go to the power play. Matheson's called for a trip on Sod. I thought that should have been a penalty shot. It looked like Matheson barely got the skate just before the puck. But yeah, he does get the puck first, so that is a penalty, not a penalty kill. That's a penalty kill, not a penalty shot. And the Blues score almost right away. Braden Shen with the goal that ends up hitting Allen. It goes up and just over. Looked like it might have been, it was Robert Thomas right in front. Nothing though. And the game was over in the first period, like I said. Or as I put in my notes, I should say, Habs are 2 for 5 on the penalty kill. The face-off, there's more like just like a type of horn. Toronto wants to review for a high stick. They very quickly do, and the call is very quickly confirmed, so it is 6-2. Habs turn the puck over right to St. Louis. I said they need to get their shit together for Tuesday. And it's 7-2 St. Louis. Allen decides to just not cover his post. Jordan Kyrou with his 100th career NHL goal. Allen just decides not to cover his post. Goes off his skating in. Gotta love that. Canadiens try to find anything on net. There's a look for the top line again, but basically any other line that's out there. Blues end up getting some pressure. And then Caden Gooley gets hurt. So Scandella hits him with a clean shoulder hit. It sort of looked like he was favoring the arm or the ribs. It also did look like his head hit the glass. He was down for a bit. I think it's disgusting. The refs didn't immediately blow the whistle. He was down for about 5 seconds even before they even considered blowing the whistle. Yeah, I said it was Buchnevich in my notes, but I did see the replay. It was apparently Marco Scandella who hit him. So Struble goes after. I think because he went over because Struble. I think they said he went after Buchnevich, is why I put that in my notes. That was Buchnevich. Both men get a 10-minute misconduct, which I mean, I kind of get it. The game is kind of boiling over. You don't want there to really be 40 left, though. It's not like, or there's a minute 30, something like that. What the fuck's going to happen in a minute 30? I know a lot can happen in hockey, but like, really. And then we get a fight. Kovacevic and Neighbors out the next face-off. They kind of hit each other a little bit. And they end up fighting. There was a goal on the play. It looked like Pezzetta had tipped a shot in. But yeah, Kovacevic just completely destroys Jake Neighbors in the fights. One of those guys knows how to fight. The other is Jake Neighbors. So your guess on which one wins should be about 95% accuracy rating. And again, yeah, Kovacevic just completely gave him his lunch. And so Toronto actually ends up calling it. Because you cannot coach's challenge in the final minute regardless, and because you can't challenge this type of goal being scored, Toronto is actually looking at it. They look to see if the goal should have counted, if it was scored before or after the gloves were dropped, and it's kind of quickly confirmed, yeah, no goal on the play. As much as it would have been nice to see the game end 7-3, that was probably the right call. Pezzetta, unfortunately, doesn't score another goal this game. Habs do try to press in the final minute. By the way, that fight coming with a border for where Toronto could have called in was last final minute. And yeah, like I said, Habs pressed in the final minute. Just no shots were able to get on net, unfortunately. And that would be the game. So the Blues win it 7-2. The final shots were in favor of them as well, 36-38. So we're going to do the stats. About 7 goals. Remember when Mike Matheson was in the top 15D 5 games ago? Yeah, me too. Sean Monahan, when he was with the Canadiens, got 24 points. Brendan Gallagher's got 8 goals, 8 assists for 16 points. Jake Evans, 2 goals, 12 assists, 14 points. Alex Newhook and Josh Anderson each have 7 goals, 6 assists, 13 points. Justin Barron, who's currently down in the foul, 6 goals, 6 assists, 12 points. Caden Gooley, who's unfortunately seemingly hurt, and David Savard each have 4 goals, 8 assists, 12 points. And actually, I just realized I should mention, before we do get out of here, if my Chrome wants to load, thank you. I should mention, the Canadiens did put out an announcement about 10, and Caden Gooley was currently being evaluated. I'm looking on their page right now. It's really not loading quickly at all. Okay, there we go. So that is the last update that they have tweeted out. Logan Mailloux is currently trending on Twitter. I'm in favor of calling him up, especially if it's only a couple games, maybe say 3 to 4. I'd be completely fine with getting Logan Mailloux some games in the NHL. I'm completely fine with it, especially, like I said, it's only 3 to 4 games. Get him a little bit of experience in the show. Maybe he'll have a goal, maybe a point in those 3 to 4 games before Gooley comes back or Barron, whoever ends up coming back. I could maybe see them and yeah, there we go. All right, we're back again. We're gonna end the stream in a minute, but yeah, like I said, I could maybe see them calling up Barron. I'd rather see Mailloux personally in that spot, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see though. We'll see what happens. I am intrigued though, for sure. So yeah, let's continue on with the stats and finish this up. So Caden Gooley, who's unfortunately hurt, and David Savard each have 4 goals, 8 assists, 12 points. Yoel Armia's now got 9 goals and assists for 10 points. Michael Pezzetta's got 3 goals, 7 assists, 10 points. Jonathan Kovacevic, 6 goals, 2 assists, 8 points. Tanner Pearson, 4 goals, 4 assists, 8 points. Christian Dvorak, who's unfortunately out for the remainder of the year. And Jesse Ullinen each have 3 goals, 4 assists, 7 points. Rafael Harpinard, who's currently out, a goal, 6 assists, 7 points. Jordan Harris, who's currently out with a goal, 5 assists, 6 points. Jaden Strubel's got 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 goals, and assists for 4 points when he was with the Montreal Canadiens. Arbor Jacquai's got a goal, 3 assists, 4 points. Mitchell Stevens has 2 goals and assists, 3 points. Joshua Waugh has got a goal and assist for 2 points. I should actually make him. I should actually make his name black because he is playing with the Canadiens right now. He's not down in Laval anymore. Kirby Dach, who's unfortunately out for the remainder of the year. Caden Primo and Sam Montembeault each have 2 assists. And Jake Allen has a single assist this year. Yeah, guys. Also in the fight department, Michael Pizzetta's got 5. Josh Anderson and Arbor Jacka each have 3. Yaroslav Caden Gooley, Jonathan Kopasevich, Tanner Pearson, and Jaden Struble each have a fight this year as well. So, yeah, that is going to do it for today's stream, you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, comment, subscribe. Favorite channel includes, but it's not limited to, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, family notes, my name is Instagram, Puff Club, the H Club, Hub Up, D Nation, Remember the Mod Squad, number comments, it's much greatly appreciated watching. My name is Harry Rice. Link subscription, the Amazon wishlist, PO Box, PayPal, Letterboxd, Stream account, the Discord, the Twitch, Letterboxd, Premium account, and all that are down there as well. The stream is lagging on my phone though, so I'm gonna turn on my Wi-Fi, see if that helps at all. There's no way that my fucking really. Are you fucking kidding me? The stream hasn't been, fuck it, who cares?